Here we go. Time for the big one in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Our cup final sees Australia and Canada going at it. Overall in the series, it is Australia leading 8-4. And in their most recent encounter, it was Australia getting the cash there as well. This is how the teams line up. I'm Sean Maloney, joined in commentary by ex-New Zealand legend Melody Robinson and Mel, who are we keeping an eye on in both these lineups?
Well, the key thing for Canada is that they have no Karen Paquin out injured. That's a massive loss for them. As for Australia, I just love the work of Caslick and Quirk. Tireless, they are linked players, so clinical, they're clear on the pattern, and they are the key to Australia always getting the ball away from that congestion area.
And if you're just dialing in to our coverage via Fox Sports back in Australia or up in Canada, we have been hit with a heavy storm around about 20 minutes back. The rain began to tumble. It has not let up, but that will not have these women's spirits dampened. No siree.
Well, I think it's a major. Australia train in the sunshine. You live in Sydney. You know what the base that these girls train out of is like. They love the dry ground. That's what their skill set and their game plan is all about. This levels the game out between them and Canada. And Canada have got big forwards, so it makes it rather intriguing indeed.
They do. All will be revealed in coming moments. Will Canada go direct? We're about to find out. But right now, time for the anthems.
E agora, o hino nacional tocada, National Anthem of Canada.
There are the anthems done and dusted, and this is how Australia found themselves to be in the cup final. They are undefeated here in Brazil. They were undefeated in their last tournament in Dubai. They are a team heading in the right direction in the run towards August, where Rio will host the Olympics. Canada, just the one blip on the radar here in Sao Paulo, going down against Australia yesterday. Just a couple of key moments to find the outcome of that game. Jen Kish has been unbelievable. As the rain continues to tumble down, Mel Robinson, I believe Forrest Gump said it best, it's big old fat rain.
I tell you what, wipe that round robin game away, because this is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see what they've got out there.
Alhambra Nieves in charge, and it will be Landry who gets us underway. The Cup final rocking and a rolling from South America, Sao Paulo hosting Canada v Australia, and right off the bat we see the slippery conditions strike on the hands of Alicia Quirk.
Yeah, there it is there. It looks like the Aussies are still looking to push the passes, get it out to their strike out wide, but that time when Quirk wound up to pass the big wide ball, slipped out of her hands.
5, 6.
Canada with perfect field position in which to launch their first attacking raid. The starter step from Landry.
Holding on.
She is penalised for holding on, so Cherry goes quickly, and again they're happy to shift it. Polite will slip across the park, gets round Russell, and he's looking to link there with Etheridge, still moving up the park. Polite has been one of her side's best here in Brazil, but she's caught the touchline there. Rasavengi's got his flag up, and Alhambra Nieves eventually catches his eye, and they'll go all the way back for a Canadian line-out throw.
Yeah, good smart tactics there from Australia, in particular Polite, because she knew she didn't want to release the ball, so she just ran across the field. So they had to maintain possession. They could have continued attack, just creeped out over the sideline.
Up goes the skipper, Kish. They peel it off, and again it's nice and tight for Canada. Served them so well in their win over New Zealand in the semi-final, and again that ball is just so hard to get a handle on.
You can see the Canadians' intention, you know, with that close little hit up there from Kaljuvi.
Yeah, thank you.
She looks like a bit of a unit too.
Crouch.
In for the injured Karen Paquin, who is one of the hardest runners in the series. Australia clear, and work goes back. Cherry, she's happy to play field position. You don't see a whole lot of kicking in the world of sevens, but that might just be the option here. Pinning Landry down in her 22, and she's happy to return fire. And that is a sweet kick down the park from Ghislaine Landry. That is a terrific hoist down the park.
Yeah, and it's good to see both teams assessing the options and just trying different tactics out there. Landry won the kick of the boot, and that time for sure.
Open, red. Open.
Going to try and contest with Kish up the front.
So taking it beautifully there was Quirk. Polite takes it one off. Polite is going to power away. Polite takes it in under the dot. Australia strike first in the cup final.
Direct play from Polite. Usually she uses her footwork to astound the defence. That time, just a lovely ball from Kaslik. Look at that. Landry on the chase on the inside. Couldn't get anywhere near the pace of this young lady. Man, she's had one heck of a time here in Brazil, hasn't she?
And the conversion, the all-important conversion, is true. And after 3.5 minutes of action, Australia lead Canada 7-0. She's got to be one of the most informed players in the series. Was excellent in Dubai as well, and in every game here in Brazil has made some stunning touches. Has pace to go with her balanced running, moving in and around the defence. Etheridge with a deep restart. Tap back is the call. Big palm coming from Kaljuvi. She's in for Paquin, but makes a Paquin-like charge. Kaljuvi. Farella with her first touch. Landry. She's so integral to Canada's chances. So is Kish, who scored one of the best tries we've ever seen on the series in her side's winner over New Zealand. Russell trying to stick her nose through. Farella. Oh, big shot from Shannon Parry. Jarred the ball free. Caslick goes back for Australia, and they'll just bring it back and pack the scrum.
Canada trying to keep things simple by, once again, just one-off runners. They're just taking it up to the line. And that time, it was the big hit that jolted the ball free.
And if you are watching on back in Australia via Fox Sports, you've got a cappuccino in hand. It's morning. You're wondering where the locals are. They're tucked up under the stand on the far side of our camera deck, looking to seek some refuge from this huge storm that's hit us in Sao Paulo. Cherry, again, the kick is the option. Tonegazzo out wide, Cherry in a little tighter, and once more. Landry's back to pick it up for Canada. She's going to back herself here, Landry, and she'll try the chip chase and now soccer through. Landry won't have the pace to get there. Back and getting tackled is Caslick. It pops back for Etheridge. Etheridge has been busy both days here. Switching his quirk. Still happy to give the ball a bit of air, the Australians. They're sticking to what they know, what's helped them become the #1 team in the world. But that kick, not one of Quirk's betters. Just as we say that now, Kish is so powerful in that pass. Back in field is okay, but it is knocked on eventually by Kayla Molesky.
Yeah, bit of a bummer there for Kish because they just need to reorganise their counter-attack between her and Molesky. But hey, what a take. And, you know, that kick probably just a little bit too short, but Australia's intention was to try and chase it and regain possession. Green's on, and the number 12. I'd bring her close in to a ruck or a tackle area and just get her the ball early because she might not get it out wide with these kind of conditions.
No, she's chasing down Emily Cherry at the top of that all-time Australian try-scoring list. Ellia Green. Now Caslick feeds out the same tunnel, so we'll just throw that one in again. Green matched up on that far side against Brittany Benn, who is no slouch herself, so if it does become a foot race, it's going to be fairly evenly matched.
Yeah, not many people as fast as Green in this competition, though.
Quirk is back, across to Cherry. She gets inside Russell, takes play just past the 22. Turner didn't start, now Parry, the captain. She knows one way, and it's forward at full tilt. Parry, good pressure from Canada. Quirk, Cherry. Cherry straightens, and then he's wrapped up by Russell. Nice tackle, Russell. That's gone back. Kish made the hit. Now Kish stepping around Parry, gets the pass away, and it's through the legs and out the front of Kaljuvi. Just right there, we see how dangerous Jen Kish is.
Oh, you know, individual work from her. I actually thought it did go forward off an Australian hand in that little breakdown where she won the ball, didn't matter. Play on. You can just see, yeah, so tough out there. And don't forget, the final in Amsterdam, it was Canada who beat Australia, so they know how to take down these Aussies.
Caslick, and she finds Quirk. Here's Green. She's going to back herself to get on the outside. Great work from Ben to halt her initially, and eventually over the top was Kaljuvi to shut down that threat. Now Turner, speaking of threats, Turner goes past Kish. Turner gets into the contact area with Landry. Now Australia will have to get numbers there because Canada have flooded the breakdown, but they've done so illegally. So important, those metres up the park from Australia, and setting off for the try line for possibly number 2, Polite. Great tackle. Getting back was Molesky. Still the ball with Australia. Quirk, footwork from Quirk. Quirk splits them. Alicia Quirk is in, and Australia are clear by 12.
Quirk is quick, and she absolutely absolutely did. Kelly Russell, who's fantastic in the tight, but was in 6 and 7s when this young lady, gliding play, Australia, and they managed to keep the ball, keep possession. There it is there, accelerators on. And, you know, the defence for Canada was just really jagged, wasn't it? No one was in a line. Nobody said, I've got quirk.
The extra two are good off the boot of Emily Cherry, and Australia ahead by 2 converted tries over Canada.
We don't often mention Quirk's name when it comes to the tries because she's usually the one creating them with that wonderful passing game. He's loving the rain out there.
Cherry deep. That's the key. Kick long. And make your opposition shift it around in these slippery conditions. It's a long way to go via a tight game plan. It's a nice charge from Farella. Landry. They'd love to score after the halftime hooter. Canada to get themselves into this game. Farella, oh, it's missed the mark. Will Australia play on quickly? They'll try to, but Canada reel it in. And at half-time, in the big one, it is Australia leading Canada 14 points to 0. Well, what do you make of that half, Bill Robinson? How can Canada get themselves back into this one?
Yeah, a really difficult task, really. The first thing is that they've got to work harder on defence because Australia, with the 2 tries, they've got a huge advantage already. They've got to push up and stop giving them so much space. You know, in particular, Brittany Benn with Green out there, she just gave her a lot of space. John Tate, he'll be asking them to, reminding them about their game plan, but that relies on possession, so they've got to get the pill.
All right, we've got to go on deck, finding space, moving up, okay? Hold, we're going to kick it back, and then we pass it off. The more that we move it back and forth, they're going to get nothing, okay? They're going to chase the game down, okay? So defense, connection, talk early, put the game in the next ball, okay? Put the ball in hand, after it, okay? Deep in the half, or if not, fill it, push up again, but you have to get that connection, that chase, okay?
Execution, hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball. Every time we get it back, we go. 1, 2, 3, hold it! Never give up,
Yeah, the kick and chase tactic is something their coach Tim Walsh is wanting Australia to persist with. I guess they don't have the big players. I mean, Shannon Parry will probably be the most solid in their team, so they've got to try different tactics in conditions like this.
Little Wallamina, will the smile remain after another 10 minutes of action here in the Cup final, or will it be Landry and Ben and Kish from Canada who can find a way back into this one? Just the worst conditions for the 15 women out the middle, including our referee, Alhambra Nieves. 10 minutes of play to run after 2 days of outstanding action in Sao Paulo. Australia clear by 14 in the Cup final.
Yep, I think maybe Canada does still need to move the ball a little. They've become, you know, a little bit psyched out by the fact that it is so wet out there. Trust your skills.
Kish, the captain. If you're looking for something to do after this, you want some more sevens rugby, jump online and have a look at the try that Jen Kish scored earlier today. You'll struggle to find a better one all year. Here's Polite swooping for Australia, but getting back there was Molesky, and now here's Kish. Captain on captain. Parry manages to get a handle on her and toss her over the touchline.
Yeah, good wrestling move there from Parry. Kish often attacks down that line, doesn't she? It's one of her go-tos. She since May last year in that London tournament, it's been all Australia in these women's 7 series leg. They won in London. They made the final in Amsterdam and, of course, won Dubai. Fantastic form this side.
Caslick, Quirk. Quirk has Cherry on the hard line, back into the traffic. Farella's up to the task there and holds her up well. Look at the strength of Bianca Farella. Comes loose though. Oh, Cherry rolls it back. Caslick pops it up off the deck. There's the first try scorer, Polite. Polite manages to get around. Oh, that looked to be slapped down. Slap back's the call. Play on's the call. Great work from Russell, and eventually it runs into touch.
Just have a little issue, Caslick, with that pass off the ground. You're on the ground, you're out of play. You can't play it. I think that was missed.
Speaking of, there is Charlotte Caslick.
Looks like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, but she's one little tough cookie.
One of the toughest, Charlotte Caslick. She goes to the front, talking of tough customers. Shan Parry fits that billing also. Polite. Cherry. She gets to utilise those brilliant feet. Now the kick across field for Green. Trying to get in behind Ben. Green's got a head of steam up here, and Ben's really got a motor back for it and does beautifully. Oh, that is terrific work from Brittany Ben, and Green's got to up and repeat and then dumps the runner over the touchline. Ouch.
Pretty high there too. Yeah, Ben, I don't think she knew Green was coming up behind her. But they managed pretty well there, Canada, considering. Here she is here. That's something Ronda Rousey would be pretty happy with, actually.
Yeah. So it'll be Australia's throw. Out the line out, Quirk. They go to at line out time. That is very precise in these tough conditions. Turner. Cherry again. Farella's had her mark nicely. Green, oh, the cut was late, but back is the call. Australia play the whistle, and Cherry is going to punish Canada. It was ugly, but the 5 points are all that counts.
A switch is on in these kind of conditions because it's so difficult when you change direction for the defence to stop. Farella did really well there. Well, fine call on whether that went back or not. But hey, referee says it's okay. Cherry's available. And Cherry on top.
Extra 2 to her 5, so that leaves the score at 19 points to nil in Australia's favour.
11.
Yep, they know they don't have to rush now. 19 points ahead. 5 minutes is still a long time in sevens, but not in these kind of conditions.
Nicole Beck with ball in hand, such a luxury for Aussie coach Tim Walsh to be able to bring on a woman of Nicole Beck's experience. There she is, Beck finds Caslick. Caslick goes to Green, and there's some room for Green to move. Green, start a step, and still goes. Oh my word, Elliot Green is just absolute power from top to bottom.
Those legs are hard to stop in normal circumstances, and it's a bit slippery out there. So strong, nice ball. Caslick again involved. Here it is. Farella under pressure. Another player falls off the tackle. Australia, and the key with it too, they're playing a territory game with that kick-off. It was really deep. Canada just going backwards all day. Best thighs in rugby right there. Certainly the fastest.
Probably the top try scorer this series. Brazil had a superb tournament here in Brazil, so did Callum McAllister, but for the moment, Elliot Green is sitting pretty up top. 24-0 Australia are now cruising against Canada. Russell Farella, late switch to Kish. That comes back via an Aussie boot.
Ooh. You can't say she didn't do that on purpose.
Farella. Oh, Landry has gone back, is the call. Great work over the top there from Shan Parry, the captain.
Yeah, Farella runs across the field just a little too often for my liking. She'd no one on top of her. The pass would have been on in that circumstance. Easy to say up here, I know.
So Australia will just catch their breath and they'll restart via the tap, something they do generally so well. Set play. Kaslik out the back to Quirk. Kicking in behind for Beck. Beck's on the hunt for a try of her own. Beck, oh, it's going to beat them all. And there's Etheridge spinning out of one. It falls down. In the mix there is Mahalia Murphy on debut here in Sao Paulo. And it's caught a Canadian hand and gone forward.
Maybe Landry might have been better to try and attack that herself because she was the one coming forward. Difficult though because Quirk's accuracy and positioning of that kick is just right on the money. Spot on.
This stop two of the 5-leg HSBC Women's 7 Series. Next up, it'll be Atlanta. Then a week later, we're going to Canada. And going on what Canada have shown here, in Brazil, they're going to be tough to turn at home. Expecting huge crowds up there in Canada as well. Good afternoon to you if you're watching on in Vancouver or Langford. There's Beck trying to get Mahalia Murphy free. Oh, the old 1-2 punch sees the number 3 jersey go in, and Australia put both hands on the cup here in Sao Paulo.
Beck, great from her. Went up to the defensive players, right up to the line. There's the end of it there, Murphy to Beck. And yeah, nice balance from the new girl there, Mahalia Murphy, former league player for the Gillaroos. Good to see her playing rugby sevens.
Cole Beck will be smiling down in Wollongong as well. South of Sydney. They'll be smiling all around Australia with the performance of their women here in the Cup final. They are up by 29.
Yeah, you've got a feel for Canada because they are under strength. They've had a couple of injuries before the tournament started. Another to Karen Paquin. They're better than this. There's no doubt about that. They'll be disappointed with their performance. But hey, the dominance of Australia, can't argue.
Parry goes low. Fighting to the death is Maleski. Excellent run from Kayla. Now Farella. It's gone forward. So Australia can have a little dabble late from the set piece. They'll set the scrum and see what they can get cooking in these shocking conditions in South America. We're just down the road from Rio de Janeiro, about 4 hours southwest, but Rio awaits, and these two teams are going to figure strongly at the Olympics. That seemed to come out the same tunnel, and for some reason it's play on, and then knocked on. It'll matter not. Australia have done it again. They've won 12 games straight on the series, and they are champions in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, Sean, they were smarter, they were slicker, the execution was better. This is a team in hot form, their second title for this series already. Come Olympics time, I would not be surprised to see them in the final. They're favourites to win that gold medal.
There are a number of teams who can threaten on their day. That's the beauty of sevens rugby. If you're off by just a touch, you're going to get caught. But if you're looking at the consistency in the run in, Australia look fairly well placed. It must be said, they are most definitely medal contenders. So too are Canada. So rain continues to hammer down here. That won't do anything to dampen the spirits of these Aussie women. Scotty Boweney there, the assistant coach, does great work alongside Tim Walsh. Let's get a little bit of post-match reaction now.
Shannon, congratulations, champion Sao Paulo, back-to-back tournament victories. You must be delighted.
Definitely proud. We put in a lot of hard work after Dubai in the off-season over Christmas there, and just glad it paid off and the heavens opened up, so great victory.
Yeah, what about the conditions? Because we were wondering would that affect both teams. It certainly didn't affect you guys.
No, definitely. Both teams have a wet weather plan, so came into practice, and luckily we practiced in the sunshine of Australia.
You guys are setting the standard here, and it's a pretty impressive standard, if you don't mind me saying. Everyone else, it's up to them to hit that mark.
Oh, definitely. You know, we're just playing our footy, concentrating on us. Everybody knows it's a long way to Rio yet, and you know, we're just about putting good performance on the paddock leading into Rio.
Overall, the tournament, have you enjoyed it here?
Absolutely fantastic. Love it here. The sun was out until the final, but we'll take anything. But very proud of my girls, and thanks to all the supporters at home. We know it's early morning over there, but thank you very much for your support.
And obviously you have a month now to prepare for the next one, back-to-back tournaments as well, so that's going to test the squad.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of players that we need to rotate and give everyone an opportunity going into Rio. So back-to-back on the synthetic grass there as well, and the real grass. So real test for the team to be able to back it up, but they will definitely be there.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a pleasure to watch you guys play rugby. Congratulations, champions again.
Thank you very much.
It's so easy for Shan Parry after stepping into the captaincy role with Shani Williams doing herself a mischief in Dubai, and hey, a little bit of silverware to rack up on the mantelpiece at home for Shan Parry.
Yeah, well, the fact they did it without Williams, who is just the ultimate prop in terms of her work rate and what she puts out there, is impressive indeed. Here he is, Tim Walsh giving them the well done chat.
And Gabriella getting her runners-up medal. Landry was awesome this weekend, and Kish also. Karen Paquin, we wish her a speedy recovery at the back there on the crutches. Hope it's nothing too serious and that she'll be back again, ready to do her thing in Atlanta.
Well, she's got a smile on the dial, so let's hope it's not too bad.
Giovanni Polite, who you can see there with a big grin on her face over the shoulder of Alicia Quirk. She's had some kind of a couple of days here in Brazil as well, one of her side's best. Perhaps she'll figure in the dream team, which will pump out after it's all wrapped up here in Sao Paulo.
Pity we didn't see Talina Simon too, who you saw with the arm in the sling. So they did this on 11 players too, by the way.
Indeed they did. Talina Simon unfortunately injured herself just ahead of kick-off on day one. Did herself a mischief in the warm-up. Elliot Green there, right of screen, currently sitting on top of the series try-scoring list.
The officials absolutely stoked to be out there giving those medals out.
It's nothing, a little samba dancing won't fix up later in the night. That'll warm the Aussie girls up. They are happy as can be in South America. There they are. Champions in Sao Paulo. the Cup winners, champions, Australia. Great shots there of Shannon Parry holding the trophy aloft. 12 games straight. And when you're posting wins like that, back to back to back, that's going to set you on top of the table. And that's what we cast our eyes across now. The HSBC Women's Series table, Australia perfect, 40 from 40. New Zealand now creep up into second spot alongside Canada. France are in the mix there too. Then England, Russia, Fiji, the United States. An improved performance here in Brazil. There are the Brazilians underneath the United States, and Spain, Japan and Ireland. And that looks like we have got ourselves Charlotte Caslick getting lots of congratulations. It has been an awesome tournament in Brazil. We trust you've enjoyed our coverage via World Rugby around the world. We'll leave you to it. It is good night and goodbye from Brazil.